So most washers today have different styles of motors than the old ones did. They're either a direct drive, or they're using a coupler, or they're an induction type of motor. But a lot of washers used to be belt driven. So they had a motor like this that had a belt that ran either a transmission or ran the pump. So to have that kind of a setup with a belt, you had to have pulleys. You had to have like V-type pulleys, and there were some issues with those. And occasionally you may wind up with a machine that you're finding that there's a whole lot of belt dust that's coating your motor pulley, and you're starting to get belt slippage or squealing. So on those type of situations, you can clean these pulleys. And you can do it just as easily, just with a rag and a bit of a cleaning solution, and just clean out those grooves. So again, you'll just want to make sure you've got that pulley clean. You're not really worried about the top of the pulley. It's the groove where the belt sits in that you want to have as clean as can be, so that the belt can settle into the groove of the pulley and get a good grip so it doesn't slip. And that way you're getting full motion onto your transmission as well as your pump. So your transmission and your pump will have pulleys. So it'll be the same thing, whether it's a plastic pulley or a metal pulley. You'll still want to make sure these grooves are cleaned out and that you're getting the best grip possible from your belt. In some cases you may have to change a motor, in which case these type of pulleys are removable. And they're most commonly attached with what they call an Allen head screw, which means you'll need an Allen wrench in order to release that screw. So with an Allen wrench that fits the size of the set screw that's in the pulley, you're just going to put your wrench in the screw, loosen it, and usually they're on pretty tight, but they'll come loose. And then you're able to lift the pulley right off so that you can change that motor for whatever reason. Most metal pulleys, you don't typically have to change them for the sake of a bad pulley, but you will need to remove them for changing whatever it is they're attached to, be it a pump or a motor or a transmission. And it would go back on the same way, and you'll just tighten up that screw and that'll hold it nice and tight. Pulleys on a transmission are usually held with a bolt or a shaft that comes through that has a nut on it. Whichever way your pulley is set up, you'll just remove the fastening devices as they're designed. But if you find on some of these plastic pulleys, which you'll see used on some of the newer style machines that still have them, that these might occasionally crack or split, or if the belt's been slipping too much, they'll actually sort of melt a little bit, and that way the belt's not falling into the groove the way it should be, so you may have to change it. But most newer machines that do still have belts, as you see in your front loads, those pulleys are attached directly to the motor. You're not able to remove that. So if there's a problem with the pulley, then you're going to have to replace the entire motor. And vice versa, if your motor's bad and it has to be replaced, you don't have to worry about taking the pulley off. It's going to come on your new one. So that's pretty well everything you really need to know about washer pulleys.